It's shashuska time, everybody. Everybody loves a good shashuska. Shashuska's for breakfast. Shashuska. Do you know what shashuska is?
No idea. Didn't know then.
Shashuska is when you take a babushka and you cook it in tomatoes. A Russian babushka.
What's a babushka? I don't even know what a babushka
a Russian, like a grandmother. I'm making fun of the fact that they called them. They kept saying, "I love these shashuskas." It's shakshuka. Everyone called them. Rachel called them that. Heather,
I'm so basic. I didn't know.
I know. I had a feeling. Shakshuka. It's either like sometimes it's Moroccan, but it's eggs cooked in. But y'all, I was like, did Heather say that wrong, or did Rachel? And I looked on the board. No, Rachel spelled it shashuskas. Shashuskas. Also, if you want to call your shoes something vaguely Russian, shashuskas. But it's shakshuka. It is. You can get them at Trader Joe's. They're really good. You can buy shashuka kits. And then put the 2 eggs in them. They're so good. I highly recommend them. But they are shakshuka, SHAKSHUKAS.
Riveting.
I think it is. I'm sure the internet, like 3% of the population who watched this was very upset by it, and I was one of those.
I'm sure.
Shashuskas for everybody, y'all.
Wow.
This is below deck.
This is why y'all come here. This is why you're here.
I just have little things that set me off. And even the guests were like, these shashuskas are delicious.
Shashuska. Y'all, welcome to Reality Gaze. My name's Matt Marr, and this queen who cares about shashuska is Jake Anthony, a.k.a.
Shakshuka.
Poodle.
Shakshuka.
Poodle. We are, what is it? Are we I can't count. 1 week away from our live show?
2 weeks.
And a half? Oh, God.
2 weeks. 2 weeks Sunday. 2 weeks from Sunday. About 12 days out.
I'm starting to have dreams.
Well, you're the one who left for your father's cancer. So I don't know if the show's going to be a disaster or not. I just know that I've been pulling my weight. So I'm going to say that at the live show. I did what I could. I did everything that was expected of me. I'm going to say it at the beginning of the show.
As you should. By the way, if y'all we sent a message to our patrons, but if you haven't listened yet, we aren't going to be able to do a classless episode this week because of my dad's cancers, and things got kind of hung up down here in Houston. So the intimate portrait this week of both episodes of 90 Day are for everyone on the Patreon.
Yay!
So there you go. Yeah. So that's kind of our gift to you.
Intimate portrait.
That's where, if you don't know what the intimate portrait is, Halle Berry.
I missed Lifetime Intimate Portrait.
They brought back Behind the Music, but they should do Intimate
Portrait, Sybil Shepherd.
I loved Linda Carter's. Oh, it was great.
Intimate Portrait, Holly Hunter.
Intimate Portrait, Meryl Hemingway.
Who?
What's her name? Meryl Hemingway? No, I'm thinking of
Mariel Hemingway.
Yes.
Mariel.
Yes, Mariel.
Mariel.
So, y'all, the live show's coming up.
Ernest Hemingway's great-granddaughter?
Hope she didn't have the same mental issues.
No, she has.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks. That sucks.
I don't know why I'm laughing about it. It's just like,
sucks. Yeah.
I don't think she's sitting in a room with a gun, but
I see my father and how stubborn he is, and I went, oh, fuck, that's going to be me.
She does have a fondness for Key West. The Florida Keys.
Let's move on. So this just got real. It
just got weird. You didn't know you were going to be Ernest Hemingway jokes.
You didn't know you were going to get that today. And you never know what you're going to get for the live show, y'all. We're planning a lot of stuff. It's going to be very exciting. We're excited.
Just on the intimate portrait, it was our first Clarence Carter reference, and people have been telling us that they hope it's not the last.
It's true. We have
Carter.
We have also a meme that Poodle created that's trending on not really Twitter, more like on Yahoo search engines in Turkey. But anyway, it's our meme is on TikTok.
It's
so
trending.
Be sure to follow us on TikTok.
Hundreds of views.
Our Stephen me from
Stephen.
312 the last time I checked.
Y'all follow us on TikTok. That meme is TikTok exclusive, at least for like a couple more days, and then we'll put it on
the rest of the shit. So I think that's it, Poodle. Anything else we need to tell the peeps?
Bi-Curious episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City coming out this week. I believe the episode we're watching is episode 7 or 8. I don't know.
Whatever the latest one is what we'll do, right?
I don't know. I'm like one behind.
I don't know. I'm behind.
I think it's
like
8.
2 behind. Might be 8. Whatever came on this week, y'all. You get it.
Who gives a shit?
You give a shit. Let's do this. Let's
do this.
Talk about this.
Because Boat Daddy is back, y'all.
Boat Daddy is back.
Our long national nightmare of Captain Sean, only with one episode.
My Captain Lee cherry has been popped.
What are your thoughts? This is the first you seeing Captain Lee in his glory, his raspy, grouchy, his sayings, his all his idioms. What do you think? What's your first impression?
I want him to take me out on that boat dock under the moonlight with no stars. Well, all I can see is his silver head cock. And then I want him to put on that captain's hat. And I want him to raw dog me. Okay. Even if we're in international waters, I want him to raw dog me the American way in international waters.
No condoms.
No condoms. I want it Captain Lee, boat balls deep. Boat balls deep.
Yeah, he's something, right? There's something about him. It's not that he's like the hottest guy in the world, and he has because he's a man's man, he is showing his age. He's not like wearing facial creams, and he's spent some time at sea. But
yes,
he still can get it all the time. He could have me for lunch, breakfast, and dinner, and I would, and also dessert. I would not care.
Yeah, he could have you as many courses as Rachel's fucking dinner was.
She's fucking showing off. Now, she's talented enough, but deep down, Rachel is just as even though she's got a mouth on her, she's just as insecure as all the other chefs.
Even more.
Yeah.
I would love to see. Boy, I've now just seen one episode of Captain Lee, and I thought, if Mayhew from Below Deck Med was the chef on this,
God,
he would have ripped him a new one in 2 days.
No, he wouldn't have come back. He would have left, and Captain Lee would have said, "Absolutely not, absolutely not."
It would have been amazing.
For Captain Lee, Captain Lee they would have had a new chef for quarantine. It doesn't matter how good the food is. For Captain Lee, it's all about building an organization of people who he can count on. And yeah, Mayhew would not have flown on the My Sienna.
No.
I
got to put in a cough drop after doing that baby girl Lisa. Single Life, y'all. It's coming out next week.
Single Life season 2 on Discovery Plus. And what we will do, like we already said, it's going to be this is our free feed you're hearing on our Patreon $5 level. We'll be doing it. And then when it airs on TLC, you'll also get it on your free feed. So I don't know who I'm talking to.
You're talking to people out there listening. Okay. So y'all, the way that we do the show, we kind of talk about moments of the show.
Yeah, we're not going to do play-by-play for Bravos.
No, they're so I will set this. I'm going to go first. We've set this at y'all. It's they did this beach picnic. The group's an hour late, but they finally get there because of Captain Sean, who says he's not a micromanager. He just says, I'm hands-on. I'm hands-on. He's a micromanager.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's what I want to know, Poodle. What's in Captain Sean's bag of treats?
His magic bag?
His magic bag of treats that Captain Sean keeps saying, Eddie.
Don't forget my magic bag. Don't forget my magic bag. I just kept thinking of this McLaughlin Group sketch on SNL. God, this sounds like I'm really, really old. Where Dana Carvey was John McLaughlin, the McLaughlin Group, and he would ask, next issue, next. And he would just say, blah, blah, blah. Am I sane or insane? And they would say, yeah, you're insane, John. No, wrong. You're insane. He's like, wrong. It's like everyone else is insane. I am sane, and they are trying to steal my magic bag.
This made no sense, and I think I was in utero when you watched this.
Oh God,
I was too young.
18 months younger than I am. No, you just weren't interested in anything that wasn't animated at that point or on the Disney Channel. I also need to bring up something because I've been thinking about it ever since you shamed me for not watching the movie Casper, and I need to point out that movie came out in 1995. And how old were you in 1995?
Elementary
no,
school.
I know how old you were. You were 16 years old. And you saw the movie Casper as a 16-year-old. What the fuck?
Everybody loved that song. Everybody wanted to sing it for the graduation.
11-year-old girls?
My cousins.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing
in 4th grade.
Casper.
I had to take them to go see it.
Yeah. You saw it as a 16-year-old boy.
Well, I had to take my cousin Ryan Tyler because Aunt Darla was busy, and I got into it. He loved it.
Y'all, I was made to feel like a leper because I had never seen the movie Casper.
A lot of people knew that song.
By the way, I listened to that song. That's a piece of shit.
It's a piece of shit song.
For everyone saying they listened to it in their room and singing it, I'm sorry. You need to know that the things you loved as a child, a lot of those were trash.
Hey,
and if you go back, you'd say that's garbage.
I said that. I said it was bad. I wasn't saying it was good.
But I need to reiterate. You saw Casper as a 16-year-old boy. Just putting that out there.
Hey, I don't know what's weirder. That or you saw something called like Dans ton film when you were like 5 years old.
And I loved it.
You checked it out from the library, and the librarian, it was very confused.
Or just when I was this has maybe been like last year or 2 years ago, when the movie Cousin Rachel came out with Rachel Weisz, and I was like the only one in the theater. I'm like, oh, Cousin Rachel, it's a period movie.
Wow.
Those are the movies that I want to see in the theater.
So you never answered my question. What's in Captain Sean's bag?
Oh God.
I have my own ideas, but I wanted to ask you.
I think there's always WD-40.
Well, yes, always WD-40. Y'all, and we know from last episode, there's definitely butternut squash in there that he can cut a hole in. Because he's into food and sex.
There's probably some type of like canned glitter that sprays on people or silly string so he can get wacky.
Yeah, I bet there's one of those like, you know, those little battery things that you turn on that have a little fan on the end and a mesh top, and they take off lint off your sweaters.
Yes.
He has one of those, but it's never been emptied.
Agree.
It's
I
very
also
full.
think that there's probably a bottle of cyanide pills.
Oh,
that
for sure.
If something happens and he gets to a point where there's complete shame or there's an issue, he can kill himself with dignity. There's also, and I'm certain of this, there is a little book of Mad Libs that are maritime themes So when parties get a little bit, just a little less jazzy, he can bring out Mad Libs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you? I need a noun. Give me a noun. This is something that is. I walked to the poop. Poop. We're gonna use poop.
That's funny because we don't poop on the boat. We keep it inside. I don't know.
Anyway, but yeah, that's what's in the bag.
He's very concerned with his bag. Okay, that was mine. What was your first thing that you noticed, Poodle?
The deckhand Jake is very flirty with the guests, and he is flirty with everyone else on. Y'all, his sex drive is very, very high.
So is it just the name Jake?
Possibly. I'm trying to think who I haven't known a lot of other Jakes my age. I've known younger Jakes.
I've known several porn stars, and their stage names were Jake.
I think that's because that's a name that they've taken because they know it's very they know it's very strong and virile.
Sure.
It's also just a strong one-syllable name.
Yeah, but I don't know if that. Yeah, I don't know if the reason they took it. It's probably because it's common.
That's not true.
Jake is common.
Not as common as Matt.
Look,
nope. We're not going to have this. We're not going to have this argument. My name is not basic.
It'd be more interesting if you were like Jacob Soboroff. I love him. He's cute and handsome.
My name is Jacob.
Yeah, but it's Jake. It's just, look, if women came at us at all the Matts and Jake that fucked them over, we would be here for a long time.
But I understand. I will say my name is not the most unique name in the world, but you are dead wrong to say that my name is just as common as yours. You just are. And we will do it. I will do a poll or do a common name test.
Do a poll
about if Deontay can fuck.
I meant to do that. I got to do that. You reminded me.
This is a war you're never going to win. So
I just don't have a song about my name about feeding a dog.
At least it's in a song. Matt doesn't sing well.
It doesn't. Neither does Jake.
Oh yes, it does. It's a long vowel.
Sure.
So Jake and I did see that clip.
He's very flirty.
He's very flirty. And I will say, we don't have the same level of meatheads of guys we normally have on the deck crew. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that they've moved away from that this last season of Below Deck Med and this one. We've moved away from that a little bit. But I still think that Jake and Wes are really hot.
Oh, yeah. And so you did see the clip of this season where you see Jake
with Fraser
and Fraser making out?
Yes, I saw it.
And what happened to you when that happened?
I honestly think it's just these British boys. They're there to be everybody's plaything. I just
is this wishful thinking?
I've known too many of them. They'll snog boys
again
when they want to.
I don't. This might be wishful thinking. We might, as you said before, we might want to research this and get some more information before.
I've known way too many good time British boys who they like to drink.
That's true.
The English boys, they like to drink. They don't have a lot of the same weird sexual hookups or
they don't. That's true.
Macho hang-ups that Americans do. Yeah. And they'll have fun and kiss boys for sport or for fun or maybe because they're interested.
Now, it's British.
The fact that he does talk about the Raina pegging him does bring something to my brain.
Let's just get that, y'all. Sorry, we'll just jump to that now. We're jumping all over. But yes, not only does he talk about Raina pegging him, but he brings it up constantly, y'all.
And you know what?
Likes a dick up their asshole.
And you know what? when he brings it up constantly, something in me comes up constantly.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, Jakes are insatiable.
He does something to me. He's not by any means my type, and that mustache definitely isn't my type. He does something to me.
He's a walking antibiotic to me. I mean, he's attractive, but I'm just like, but again, he is your type.
And honestly, Wes should do something more for me, but he's just not that interesting yet.
Not yet. He's not uninteresting, but he's a little more. There's a reserved feeling to him, or maybe he's
gonna fuck the 30-year-old who
Jessica,
who was an Uber driver who picked up a hit and run driver.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Did you hear that? She's like, I'm in my 30s. I went, what?
She's 36. So wait, hold on.
We're sidetracked.
You skipped over something I wanted to talk about because you brought up both guys. Let's just do it now. Just use the gift.
It's not huge for Jake.
Okay. Yeah.
I would say it's below average.
Oh, you think below? I think it's boyfriend dick. That's what I think Jake is. You think it's less than boyfriend dick or more?
It's on the edge for me.
I'm on the edge of boyfriend dick.
I think it's probably a little girthy.
Okay.
Though.
Okay.
It's an uncut dick.
Okay. Good for docking.
Yeah. We've had
docking. Whatever docking you want to do.
Had a good safe docking.
Good safe docking.
Everyone was comfortable.
It was windy, but we docked well.
Yeah, we docked well.
What about Wes?
It's good.
Okay.
It's a nice penis. It's not huge. It's a little above average.
I feel like longer and slimmer. I see that for him.
Yeah.
Kind of like a 2x4 with the end just rounded like a helmet.
Not a 2x4.
Well, just kind of long.
Why are you coming up with these straight analogies?
Sorry, I've been in
2x4.
I've been in Oklahoma. My dad has been talking about houses he's worked on. So
2x4. Is that what we're using now? Why don't you say it looks like a can of caulking? You probably won't even. I can probably say caulk, and you don't even laugh anymore. This is a sad state of affairs. 2x4. You weren't even talking about the size. You were literally talking about the concept of a 2x4. That's the worst part.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, that's my thing about Jake, and he's most interested in Raina. And who we find out later, let's just go ahead and say it. Raina's been talking to a girl she met.
Woo!
Issa.
Okay. So Raina is the most sex positive of all.
Yeah, she's fun.
But I mean, Raina I think that's kind of her and Jake are a little bit of like, because they'll fuck anything that comes to them. Good for them. They are what is that word? They are what did they used to say, like in the old times when they would say someone is worldly. They're worldly.
No, I would say free-spirited.
I know, but back they would say, "Oh, that Jake Anthony. Did you see him hit on our lawn boy, our lawn girl, and our great mastiff? He's quite worldly."
Worldly. I've never heard worldly used in that term.
Really?
I've heard it as someone who knows a lot about the world.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I just don't know. What's your next one?
My next one is, okay. So Captain Lee comes back. Y'all, I'm going back where I can be me.
You're welcome for me introducing you to that song.
So I knew it before.
No, you didn't. You said, "What is this from?"
No, I didn't at all. So, golly, I canceled my watch. My mother is calling me like 4 times. I'm like, I'm in a podcast. It's fine. Anyway, Captain Lee shows up. He meets Captain Sean. They meet, but they talk for a little bit.
I've set the bar really high for you.
And then Captain Lee says, "That's great. Now get off my boat." And I
That's vintage Captain Lee.
That's numero uno when I heard a and I went, what is that giggle coming from? And I rewound it and he said it again and I heard and it's my butthole. Yeah. He's making it giggle. There's going to be more giggles, y'all.
And he said, he had a good one today. He said, I'd better sandpaper a tiger's ass in a phone booth.
Oh, love it. I love the saying. I love it. He's so, you know what I like about him, at least for me, my initial reaction to him, besides being he is sexy. He seems kind, not nice, but he seems kind.
He is kind.
And very fair.
He is very fair. He is tough. And you are almost always afraid of him.
That's, I think, why I'm turned on a little bit, if I'm honest. If I'm honest.
He has high standards, but nothing is coming from a place of maliciousness.
No.
Or having to prove something to anyone.
No.
It's the exact opposite with Sandy because, like, she wants to be either the best one in the room or she wants to get all the credit. Or even Sean, who's trying to be some type of hard ass. And it's not earned.
Yes, whereas with Captain Lee, it's like, I feel like he would just like say, Captain Lee to Matt, Captain Lee, can you come up to quarters immediately? And then I get up there and he's just wearing a captain's hat over his erect dick. And so then we have a meeting and then he fucks me, as you say, or I say bangs me like it's high tide.
Yes.
And then I'm just laying there covered in salt water and briny lube, just exhausted. And he says, now get off my boat. And I go, whoa!
That's a vivid image.
I really enjoyed briny lube.
Briny lube.
I don't know where that came from.
On the beautiful briny. Bobbing along on the beautiful briny sea.
Oh, boy. What's yours next one?
So I wanted to talk about the lame going away party we had for Captain Sean, who had only been there a day and a half. Y'all, have you had that? Where, like, let's say you have a temp at your office and they've been there like 3 days and there's like a person in your office like, let's say goodbye to them. And I'm the one in the office like, I don't even know them and I'm not getting up to say goodbye.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make a big deal out of it.
That happened to us once at my cubicle warrior job because we hired a guy and we needed someone who had office experience to answer the phones. And then he showed up and he was scared of answering the phones. So every time the phone would ring and he would look at it, I was like, okay, so I had already trained him. And I said, go ahead and answer. And he's like, the phone? I need to answer the phone. I said, yeah, you got to answer the phone. He's like, I'm scared of what they're going to say. What are they going to say? And it's like, well, just answer the phone. And so he answered the phone and he... So like the law firm, is like, I'm going to make up a name. It's like Smith and Rappaport. He's like,
first of all, no law firm is that white sounding of a name.
No, there
needs to be at least 2 Jewish names.
Which my law firm is. Yes. Eisenstein, and Soberov, whatever.
There you go.
And so he answers his phone and he's like, Eisenstein, sober. And he hangs up the phone. And I just walked over to my boss and I was like, yeah, he's got to go. And he's like, girl, because my boss is gay. And he's like, girl, he just got here. And I went, yeah, it's not going to work. And he's like, no, we can give him a day or 2. And I went, it's not going to work. And so he had only been there for 3 hours. And I walked over and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go to lunch now. And I said, why don't you just go to lunch all day? Because I think it's just not going to work out. And he went, oh, really? And I said, yeah. And he went, damn it again. And I went, oh, bless. And then as he's walking off, there was a girl that was like working there, like who hadn't been there that long, but was still newish and like people pleasing. And she was like, he walked up and he said, bye. It was nice working. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to miss you. And she made that same face that all the crew makes when Captain made. Yeah. Raina made.
He's like, Captain Sean. I'm like, you bonded that quickly? What happened to you?
Go to a CODA meeting. You're codependent. Like, back off.
I wouldn't even have looked up from what I was doing if Captain Sean left.
I wouldn't have either.
They're like, oh, Sean. That reaction is one of the most annoying things possible. Y'all, no, Captain Sean hasn't earned anything.
He hasn't.
No one's like, oh, even Eddie was like, yeah, no.
The
Captain
only
Sean.
people that are upset to see him go are the cucumbers in the fridge. You know what? On that note, we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, Poodle's going to Poodle, what's your next teabag to tease?
Let's see. Oh, I can talk about. No, I talked about pegging already.
We can always talk about pegging on this show.
We need to talk about the. I don't even know what this says.
Oh God.
We can talk about Towelgate. We'll talk about Towelgate on the way back.
Y'all, before we get to Poodle's teabag, I just took a call from my mother I'm seeing my mom tonight because I'm flying back to LA. She's picking me up and she said, "Oh, I'm so excited. We've got her boyfriend, his high school reunion, I think, like 40 or 50 years this weekend or whatever." And she said, "Oh, I'm very excited. I'm going to see you tonight." And I said, "Oh, I'm excited to see you too, Mom." And she said, "No, I've been at Chico's all day." And so she's like, you got to help me pick out my reunion stuff. Y'all, as Poodle says,
gay sons
and shopping. I mean, it's y'all, any of you that have gay sons, you're welcome if you like shopping.
I'm not even a fan of shopping, but I have to go.
You have to go. And does your mother ever send you pictures or ask you when she buys stuff if it looks good on her?
Yeah, we kind of stopped doing that because I just told her this is a weird area.
Your father never tells her she looks pretty in something anymore, and she needs you to validate that.
That
was fine.
Well, for me, I saw it going down the road you were on, and I don't want to go there because
you will. Just get ready. It's inevitable, y'all. That is like gravity. That is, that is Liberace's law. You are eventually going to have to help.
The Liberace sequence.
Yes, you're going to have to help your mother shop for clothes.
I'll do it, and my mom will say, "I got to show you what I bought," and I'll do it, and I'll engage, but she'll know there's a level of engagement that I just won't do. I won't. I've never. And I think I've kind of put that line out there to know where not to go. But yeah, she will say, "Look what I bought." She'll be happy she's more excited about telling me what deals she got and how she quote pulled one over on them.
Yeah, that's not my mom. She's not. But they do know her by name at Chico's. At North Park Mall.
Chico's is way too pricey. My mother needs to go for the sale rack at White House Black Market.
Okay.
Or she loves she said before she loves Burke's Outlet.
She does.
Knows all
she knows them there.
Salespeople by name.
Wow. We need to talk about the show because I'm depressed for us. Towelgate.
It's a long dark hallway of a future.
Long dark hallway for our future. Towelgate.
So, are you someone who in a and this is me maybe being overly courteous or overly worried about what people think about me? If I'm in some place, I'm always going to hang up my towel and reuse it because I don't want this idea of people having to refresh towels to me feels wasteful to me. I think even on a boat like that, I wouldn't.
Especially nowadays, it's all about conserving water and things like that and less resources.
Yo, these people, I can only imagine how many, if they were asking, Jessica says, you would not believe the amount of towels these people are using.
Because, y'all, this is only a 2-day charter.
It's a 2-day charter, and they have to ask for more face towels. Like
I would think.
What are you doing? How many?
I don't need one set of towels should last you 2 days. You should be fine.
Do you think it's just so they can ask for things? Do you think it's just to see what they can get out of just to kind of see the hoops they can make people jump through?
I don't think we understand because we're not women. But no, I feel like I know a lot of women that. I don't know. Is there a process we don't know about that takes more towels? I don't think so. I think you're right. I think it's just to the want of like, they're like, oh, I'm on a luxury boat. I'll throw this down on the floor. I'll get new towels. And I just don't, as Mother Poodle says, wasteful.
I think that's too ingrained in me. And my thought is, why would I want to make anyone else go to so much trouble?
Yeah.
That's something for me to process. But I agree. But it was so weird. And this is why I'm super concerned about Heather. Because not only did she apologize to the primary, she said, here we go. Here's your towels. And she's like, this is unacceptable, really. She threw the rest of her crew under the bus.
That was my note, is you can say, here's your towel. So sorry
I'm
about
so
that.
Sorry.
It won't happen again. And leave it there.
If she were to take, but she put a judgment on it. And which basically tells the primary, it's kind of a subtle way of saying, this is unacceptable and I will handle this. Heads will roll.
Well, it's also telling them, saying, I'm so sorry, I take full responsibility, but I really don't take responsibility.
No, exactly not.
So it's wanting to make yourself look good. But y'all, a real leader takes the shot.
Yeah,
like
agree.
That's part of being a leader.
I will say, or if I'll look at this from two chief stews, even if you think about Francesca from last season, who got mixed reviews, she would have said, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened. Stop it there." Or Kate Chastain would have said, "I'm so sorry that happened." Someone like Katie would have said, "I'm so sorry that happened. This is our fault. Sorry about that."
She would have taken that like collectively.
Yeah. But boy, this putting a judgment, this is unacceptable. Yes, I guess that made the charter guests feel that they were in the right, but boy, you have demonized the rest of your crew.
Yeah.
And it's just the worst. Even if the person, they didn't know about it, this is not how you handle people.
No, it's not.
And it shows you how she will try to do anything to make herself look good to the detriment of the people working under her. And I'm going to say this right now, this charter's just not going to go well for Miss Heather.
No, it's not.
Or the season, I'm sorry.
I started noticing then, but I really noticed it. We might as well talk about it now because we're not in sequential order anyway. That was one of my tea bags, was the conversation between her and Fraser.
Yes.
And when that conversation, I went, oh, you're not listening to him at all. As
he was approaching you as a person.
He was approaching you as a person, and he just needed a little bit, y'all. People just want to know that they're heard and that they matter. And she did neither of those things for him.
She talked over him and negated what he said and said, "You're just not seeing the bigger picture."
And then basically said, do better, which is not really constructive criticism at all. It's not a problem.
Constructive criticism.
It's true though, but it's not a problematic solution-focused way of saying, okay, so in the future, how do we navigate this?
Yeah,
what are your suggestions? Like,
it's all elitist doublespeak.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
It basically tells Fraser, you're fucking on your own, fucking figure it out and make me look good. That's what it tells you.
Yeah. They are, I guarantee you, even though Rachel loves her
and vinegar,
even though Rachel loves her right now, she's going to pop off to Rachel and that'll be it. I don't know if Heather's long for this world.
I think she'll finish the charter. You don't think she'll finish the charter?
You mean the season?
The season, yeah.
I don't know. No, I'm telling you, when you get like 4 charters in, that's when you're exhausted, and she will not be able to. She will either have to make a big sea change of kind of being vulnerable with her staff, or then something will happen, and Captain Lee will see that she's not a good leader. Or even worse, she'll get into it with Rachel. And that's what happened last season with
Fraser
Francesca.
will push her off the boat.
which I would be kind of fine with at this point. I'm not a Heather fan.
I'm not a fan or not a fan. I'm just kind of, but I don't love her. I'm just kind of like, eh. I like Jessica a little bit more just because we know a little bit more about her.
Yeah.
Fraser I like, but I wonder if he's difficult to work with because that camera crew did him no favors in the moments. His face looks fucking Oompa Loompa orange and doesn't match any of his neck. It's horrible makeup. It's that kind of makeup where they didn't go all the way under his eyes.
Yeah.
So it looks like he wore tanning goggles in like a salon. Like at the back of that reminds me of Nathan O'Reilly.
Oh no.
He was trying to keep secret that he was going tanning in the back of Video Advantage, because that's where they had the tanning. And so, because straight guys don't go tanning, he was trying to keep it secret.
And very not masculine. Yeah.
And he wore especially in the 90s, and he wore the goggles and he went tanning and he had the goggles face around his eyes.
All the whiteness.
He was made fun of mercilessly.
All from wearing goggles in Video Advantage.
Video Advantage. They had the best tanning machines. Well,
what made them the best?
Well, they were the cleanest. They were also they were those curved ones because there was the flat ones. There was a flat ones like.
We got to move on. I hate this.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm so sorry I asked.
Oh, yeah. Crazy Mane down the street, the hair parlor. They had the flat ones that people would go to because they were cheaper. The Video Advantage would go more. It was $1 more an hour.
We have to move on.
Okay, it's fine.
Oh God,
you ask questions.
I know. But no, it's like it. I had this feeling of, do I dare? Do I dare go back and descend the stair? And then
Delilah, the woman who used to run Crazy Mane, she actually left. She actually closed down. Crazy Mane was a hair parlor, and she closed it down because she went to a mental hospital. Actually, so she went crazy at Crazy Mane.
I prefer the term nervous hospital for mental hospital.
But I mean, yes,
I got to go to the nerve. I got to go spend some time in the nervous hospital.
But it's like she knew, and so that's what she named
an institution.
Yeah, because it was on Main Street, but it was called Crazy Mane, Mane. Anyway,
but the town shouldn't it? Oh, I can't. That's too. It's the hat on a hat on a hat. Please, what's your next one? I'm confused and I'm angry because I have a lot of follow-up questions, but I need to keep moving because I'll be so frustrated by the answers. I'm sure of it.
So, y'all, let's talk. The reason why Dr. Lee, Eddie and Lee are talking, and so Eddie, y'all remember, he's not the bosun anymore. He's the first officer.
I loved this conversation.
And a part, I guess I'm new to this, but kind of the first officer, if anything happens to Captain Lee, they assume the duties. So he needs to know, like he has to tell his medical information.
This was super touching.
It was. They get along very well. It's really sweet. I'm liking Eddie more and more. I know I said he was like broy and frat, and I think he used to be that, but I think he's on the edge of kind of growing up a little bit more. I don't know.
He has a girlfriend now. I was reminded because I was by, I think, Sissy Tracy and a couple others reminded me of how shitty Eddie treated Rocky in like season 3, I believe. That is true, and I remember having a problem with him then. His second season, I did not. I think he was back in like season 6 or season 7. No, he was back last season. I'm sorry, which is 8. And hey, I liked him a lot more last season.
Well, they sit down and we find out that Captain Lee has AFib, which is basically he was born
arrhythmia.
with it. It's arrhythmia, and so he gets a regular heartbeat. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on a podcast.
I just play one in sex role play.
Wow. Wow. That was, again, Jake's insatiable. And so, but he said
open up and say,
say, when there's a ball gag in your mouth. And so they burned off parts of his heart. Like, I guess the parts, I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm sure our medical sissies can come at us. But Captain Lee, he kind of sits there and he's like, when you sit there and you look at the jaws, you got a new perspective in life.
Got a new perspective on life.
And I was like, I feel like he is a sea cowboy. He is a sea cow. Like he should have spurs.
That's a motherfucking captain.
It is. And Eddie says, hey. And Lee says, don't you give me any special treatment. And Lee says, I'm going to treat you harder. And I went, wait a minute. I've watched a movie that started this way.
We were getting into a weird area where I was aroused.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Captain Lee says, I'll run your ass off if you don't. And again, I saw a movie that started with that too.
Yeah, it did get heated for me a little bit, but they have a really good relationship. The next thing I
know, a generic version of that Pirates of Caribbean song is playing, and the TV's kind of staticky, and some guy's getting DP'd.
Yeah, with a Jolly Roger on top.
Yeah. Whoa.
My next one. We won't talk about any more about shashuskas. I wanted to talk about the primaries leaving, saying, yeah, we kind of had a couple hiccups along the way with some towels and blah, blah, blah. And all I can think of is maybe you don't say this. Say the details of little housekeeping details.
I think this is
when you're leaving. Yeah,
I think it's a producer thing.
I just think, boy, there's just that's petty on top of petty.
I would.
If there was a problem with the food, that would be an issue. And if someone had like smeared shit on your bedspread, that would be an issue.
Yes, but I don't think they should have. But they give them a decent tip. But
no, it's not great though. It's right in the middle of the road.
And I love kind of going after when they have the meeting in the mess hall, and Captain Lee says, "So look, yeah, you can do all the great things you want, but 2 dings, and that's all people are going to remember." And then
he's right.
And then again, he just kind of throws their money at them, and that reminded me not of a movie, but an actual experience I've had. And this is maybe the hottest reality show with Captain Lee back I've ever watched.
Boat Daddy.
I'm breaking out the briny lube.
When he did throw the money, I went, oh. And my first reaction was to rub it all over my chest.
Yes. For me, it was just
your money's on the dresser, boy.
Yeah, I was just like, I saw that come out my face, and my instinct was to put it in my mouth like a pig and bend over.
There is some major role play energy going on.
And he's wearing that all black thing with the
new captain's uniform that he got. Was that the next one you were talking about?
That was the next one that I was going to talk about. Was the next, and so
and we've already talked about the situation where Fraser got Heather alone and was talking.
I don't have much more except for when they go out.
Let's talk about the going out. Okay. So, and also before they
have a good time, but remember in the morning, your ass belongs to me.
It always does, Daddy Lee.
And that's how I've seen several movies end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times. So, and Jake is still talking about pegging the entire time.
Still. Obsessed.
And dildos.
I'm calling it now. He's going to have an OnlyFans.
Oh, there's several who do. Several Below Deck guys.
Good for them.
Emil has an OnlyFans with a huge dick. Sadly, Racist Pete, who was on, I believe he was on season 7 or season 8.
I remember when they edited. He's the one that got edited out.
He's the one that really edited out. And he has an OnlyFans now, and he has a huge penis because, of course, he does.
How do you know all this, Pooh?
I've been sent all of these.
You've been sent. How come on our Reality Gaze business credit card I keep seeing OF charge recurring?
That means only friends.
Okay.
That is that is the social network that I've been running.
I don't know if that's considered research, but sure, if you want to tell our accountant that.
I swear to God, though, most of these I get sent. By about
you get sent. No one sends me anything, but you get sent them.
I get sent by 4 or 5 dick angels. I like to call them dick angels. And these dick angels of the internet.
Oh, okay.
And
I believe there's angels among us,
sending dick pics from somewhere up above.
They go to 4chan or OnlyFans, wherever they find them.
Show some foreskin.
And hope
something I want to let it in.
To show us that girthy dick.
Oh, sorry, Alabama.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I've been soaking. It's what I've been doing. I've been singing that the entire day.
Oh,
I'm soaking to the east and I'm soaking to the west. I'm soaking to the girl that I love the best. I've been soaking. Y'all, do yourself a favor and look up the music video of Clarence Carter stroking. You will not be disappointed.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Oh, it's delicious.
Okay.
I may post it in our Sissy Squad. I thought about it. I must post it.
So they're going out drinking, and y'all, it's like Raina calls her mom because her mom had her when she was 19. Her mom and her are best friends. That's great. And so she calls her mom. Raina is pulling. I mean, this was a bit of a Mattie when I was in my early 20s, a bit of a Poodle in his 30s of, Poodle, what are you going to do tonight? I don't know. I'm just going to have some drinks. I don't think I'm going to make out with anybody or, go home with anybody. I just want to have a quiet night. That's what's going to happen tonight. Cut to 3 hours later, Poodle is dancing shirtless on top of the bar, and 2 guys are licking each nipple.
And then 10 minutes later, the Lazy Susan comes out.
Yeah. I just want to say, I'm not making that thing up about the bar. I've seen it.
They knew how to do what they needed to do.
Raina is getting hers. So
anyway, they're having fun. They're drinking. They're doing shots. The Fraser
Jake is still talking about pegging, going out. He's got her hand on her leg and all this.
They're already canoodling.
Good word.
They get back and Eddie's like, "Oh, I like your shrimp on your pants. Is that a foretaste of what's happening?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You talking about my penis?" I'm telling y'all, Jake would easily be in an orgy. And I'm telling you.
In fact, everybody goes to bed like responsible people, and at first it's just Jake, Raina, and Fraser are in the hot tub. And y'all, you know why? Because Fraser can sense this. And we've already talked about it.
He can smell it like a gay bloodhound.
He's like, I'm just going to lay the groundwork. Just going to lay the groundwork for this.
And I can see it at work because I've done it.
Because you've done it, and they're in the hot tub. He's like, oh, he's just learning. And so then he goes to bed, and then Jake and Raina, basically, you know who I felt sorry for with these camera people that had to stay up till 1:30 just watching them not try to fuck.
Yeah. And also remember, this is like day 3.
Yeah. The first time going out. It's like, remember when you've gone out to a bar, and y'all, these are the days before Ubers and stuff. So you went out to a bar, and usually someone was the DD, or maybe they had one drink and that was it. You want to be good. So you're the person driving home. and you're just waiting for your friend that's completely blasted and they're making out with the busboy in the back of Mickey's, and you're just kind of waiting for them to stop.
You're talking about me, aren't you?
It's because it's 2:45 in the morning and everybody's left, and you just smell bleach and dead dreams because they're cleaning the floor, and they're still getting felt up.
I appreciate you.
And you're tired and you just want to go home.
I don't remember those nights, but I'm sure I had a good time.
Those poor camera people. Call me. Y'all let me know if you were that friend that just sat and watched your friends get it on with people and just waiting to go home.
Or you talked to the girlfriends, the queer dears.
Yeah, they brought their friend there that's making out with you, and I was like, "So where are you from?" "Oh, Chatsworth."
I love your hair.
I love your hair. "Oh, Chatsworth's a long drive." "Yeah. Well, I used to live in Long Beach." "Oh, I love Long Beach." "Yeah." I mean, that's the kind of conversation you're having.
And while you're doing that, someone's getting a blowjob in the corner.
Yeah. And then, like, once I finally start to have a good conversation, I just hear, "Let's go." And Poodle comes in and just wipes the corner of his mouth and just walks out the door, and I have to follow him.
We need to go.
And then 10 minutes later, he throws up in my car.
We need to go. I don't need to be here much longer at the scene of the crime.
I just described the year 28.
Ooh, yeah, that was like 2008. Yeah, 2008, 2009.
Wow. That's all I got.
Don't remember a lot of it.
Anything else?
Yeah, that's all. I'm excited to see the show.
Rita has a girlfriend in Mexico. Remember?
Yes, and also Eddie has a girlfriend. We didn't talk about that. Eddie.
Oh yeah.
I think so. Eddie's not single, so there are no more showmances for him.
No more showmances.
I think that's it. That's it. That's the show.
I think it's a slow start, y'all. If you're new to Below Deck, because even Below Deck Med was it's a little bit of a slow start. I actually think this is going to be a good season. What do you think? Now that we're a couple episodes in,
it's going to be dramatic.
I think so too. I think way more dramatic than Below Deck Med.
We've got a really dramatic charter starting that looks a little sketchy, and Captain Lee going, morons.
And kind of violent. A little trigger warning, looks a little abusive. So,
yeah.
So, if you're, we'll see. Y'all, you can go to realitygaze.com to see all of our show information, of our other shows we're covering. You can get our live show information. There's a Linktree link where you can get that information as well and see our new live shows. I believe we had some tickets available, but our New York show, our Saturday is officially sold out. So our Saturday nights in Chicago and New York are gone, y'all. So you can't go to either of those shows. There are tickets for the Friday night of Chicago and the Friday night of New York City.
Yep.
And again, we want to remind you, if you're going to New York City, especially on the Friday night show.
New York City?
Yes. Thursday night, Watch What Crappens are going to be doing the Crappy Awards. So, hey, we encourage you, come see
them. We've heard people doing their double teams because there's nothing like a good double team with Watch What Crappens and Reality Gaze.
It's true.
I'm not going to do sex stuff with you, though, unless you're a guy.
Or someone, especially if you're someone's husband.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Go to, you guys, if you're going to the shows and you're worried about going alone, we encourage you to, if you're on Facebook, join our Sissy Squad, because we actually have dedicated threads where sissies can meet up other sissies going to live shows and things like that. So if you want to go, but you're like, I don't want to go by myself, or Carl, will you go with me to sit? Okay, you won't. All right.
He's never come out of that den in 20 years.
and Shooter's got those rolling wheels on the back of his leg, so he can't ride on a subway.
It's not dog cart accessible.
Yeah. It's not. So if you're a Carl's wife and you're going to the show by yourself, go to our Facebook group and ask and you meet up other sissies in the squad. And I think they're planning meetups.
There's a lot of sissies going to our LA show solo.
And they're planning, if you're coming to LA, they're planning meetups and shit we're not affiliated with. So if someone dies, it's not on us. But
I promise you, y'all. I promise you, you're not gonna feel like an outcast if you're there by yourself.
I can guarantee you this. Yes, if you come to our live show, you will meet your people.
Totally, I promise. We'll be talking to the audience and people who are there solo. Raise your hand, talk to somebody, because all you have to do is turn to someone to your left and go, the bears, it's the bears, it's the bears.
And they get you.
And they get you.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Poodle. This is fun to do, y'all. We'll see you around then, Ben. But
what?
What is the sign off for this show again?
I knew you were just. I just need to launch us. And y'all, we'll see you next week. But for right now, we say anchor the game.